Since the last episode, well, sucked, my hopes that the season would be better than last year have started to falter a bit. Though, to be fair, expecting this show to be on Dino Charge levels of quality after Ninja Steel is a fool's errand, but I like to be optimistic, darn it. Anyway, we've now reached the portion of the season where I start to question how bad this is gonna get, but hey, this episode could be one of the few diamonds in the rough that I'll be expecting going forward. So let's see if this next entry is gonna be perfection or poison for the season as we look at episode 5, Game Plan. The episode opens with Preston playing a new game called Game Goblin, which is a new craze sweeping the school, and when he's met by the others, he explains that the point of the game is to increase your power bar. Preston then reveals that he bought Game Goblins for the rest of the team, just as a buzzcam catches the scene with Cosmo Royale saying the Rangers are hooked on the game. This is good news for the villains, since as people play the game, the Goblin's power will get so strong that he can suck the Rangers into the video game, where he can destroy them as the monster he truly is. Madame Otis is happy with her plan's success, telling Badana that the teen's obsession with video games will be their downfall, when we cut back to the school where all the students except Brody are playing the game behind the teacher's back. Once the teacher realizes what's going on, she warns everyone that she'll take the game from anyone caught playing it again, but apparently Victor was too engrossed in playing to get the memo, so the teacher takes his game, saying that he can get it back at the end of the day from Lost and Found. The teacher then asks everyone to turn in their homework, but Preston forgot to do it because he was playing the game instead, with Brody commenting that while he may have gotten a high score in the game, he failed the assignment. Later, the Red Ranger attempts a training session with the team, but they're more focused on playing the game, with Preston not even there since he forgot about training. All this playing gives Game Goblin enough power to strike, trying to suck all the Rangers except Preston into the game, but because Brody took the game from Leave Aiden at the time, he was taken in his brother's place. Preston, by the way, was kept out of the game to keep playing and give Game Goblin more power since he's so good at the game. The other Rangers run into Game Goblin, who quickly changes into his monster form, and despite this place supposedly being the video game world, it just looks like outside with some graphics thrown in. During the ensuing fight, Game Goblin charges up enough power to use his controller beam, which he uses to turn Brody against the Rangers. However, Brody's released from the monster's control after he runs low on power, but as Preston continues to play the game, he gets enough strength to gain control of Haley. When the beam wears off again, the Rangers make a run for it, and as they hide from Game Goblin, Brody calls Leave Aiden for help. Game Goblin finds the Rangers while Brody keeps talking to his brother, leading to the team discovering how Game Goblin gets power as Preston and other students rack up points in the game. Brody tells Leave Aiden that he needs to stop people from playing the game, which sends the Gold Rangers straight to Preston.
Preston, we have a problem. Come on.
What? What is it?
Just trust me. Come on.
I'm with you.
Huh. Kinda thought Preston would need a little more convincing, but oh wait, here's Victor and Monty, now I get it. The duo subplot this time around focuses on Victor trying to get his game back from Lost and Found, though this scene's mostly set up for the joke, so I'll go ahead and move on. Preston and Leave Aiden get to shop class, where the Gold Ranger and Mick explain the situation, and while the two try to think of a way to stop people from playing, Preston feels guilty for getting his friends into this mess. The Blue Ranger then goes into the game to help the others, leaving Mick and Leave Aiden to brainstorm on a solution, and after Mick trips over a mop, he sits the singer down, saying that he's got a plan. Back in the game world, the Rangers have a tough time with Game Goblin before Preston arrives on the scene, but his good intentions soon backfire as the monster fires his controller beam, sticking the now evil Blue Ranger on the rest of the team. You know, I should have seen this coming after what happened in Dino Charge. Since Game Goblin has more power, the beam lasts longer this time around, so Brody takes on Preston alone while the other Rangers deal with the monster. Preston wipes the floor with Brody, only for Game Goblin to call for help just as the Red Ranger's about to be finished, so Preston turns his attention to the others, soon fighting all four Rangers at once. Back at the school, Victor tries to retrieve his game by sneaking through the air vent while Monty distracts the monitor of Lost and Found, complete with a discount Bulk and Skull theme. About a season too late on using that music, guys. Victor eventually falls through the ceiling and tries to lie his way out of trouble, just as Mick comes in telling everyone to stop playing the game or they'll end up like Leave Aiden. The Gold Ranger then comes in saying he's a victim of the Game Goblin curse, which immediately stops the students from playing the game, except for Victor, who grabs his game in the commotion. However, Victor soon breaks his game after Monty struggles to take it away from him, when we cut to... what the... watching this on the Nickelodeon app. What's going on?
Yes, I can! No! No!
Are you kidding me? There's 5 minutes left in the episode, and they cut to credits after the Victor and Monty scenes? And these are the guys you extended your contract with. Alright, back to basics. Since everyone stopped playing the game, the Rangers get the upper hand against Game Goblin, and one quick Megazord fight later, the monster's defeated. After the fight, the team returns to shop class, where Preston apologizes for introducing them to the game, but Brody's just happy that this is all over and the teens can get back to training. As everyone heads out, Preston asks Mick how he and Leave Aiden got everyone to quit playing the game, and once he hears about the Game Goblin curse, he comments that it might be real before leaving as well. On the ship, Badana tells Odious that she's booked the Galactic Ninja in the next episode, and the episode ends with Cosmo saying that he's reached level 10 in the game, only to realize that he's been affected by the Goblin curse. Okay. This episode is definitely an odd one, and not only because of the production issues I had in getting this review out. Don't get me wrong, the premise here is pretty good. I like how Madame Odious is trying to stay under the Rangers' radar, with both this episode and the last one having her well within her evil plots before the Rangers realize what's going on. It's also a nice touch that Brody's the only one who isn't obsessed with Game Goblin, since he didn't grow up on Earth like all the other teenagers. In fact, through a good chunk of this episode, I thought the game might have been enchanted by Odious in some way to make people unable to put it down once they start playing, but that unfortunately is not the case here, seeing how easy it was for Leave Aiden to stop everyone from playing. Though admittedly, it was clever to have everyone reject the game due to a bogus legend, even if it didn't turn out to be bogus later in the episode, in the most confusing ending this season. However, because the episode reduces Game Goblin to just a fad, it kind of takes away from Preston being the primary focus, since all the students are just as obsessed with the game as he is, yet he's the only one who didn't do his homework. Another thing that takes the focus away from Preston is him instantly getting turned into a pawn by Game Goblin, which did present the opportunity for some interesting character stuff in his duel against Brody, but much like the Gold Ranger fight episodes ago, nothing's done with it. Brody himself also shrugs off the whole plot of the episode almost as quickly as Preston stopped playing the game to help Leave Aiden, but those scenes seem to be rushed so we can put in as much Victor and Monty in this episode as possible. However, despite how annoyed I was that the episode undercut Preston's focus even more by making room for the duo, I was happy that there wasn't another ending joke with the two. That was until I noticed that the copy of the episode that's on the official Nickelodeon app is edited to cut to credits at the end of Victor and Monty's bit just to keep the formula. Not only is this downright infuriating for obvious reasons, but it also shines a light on how Nickelodeon views the show. I mean, the episode didn't even reach its resolution, and they cut it off as if to say Victor and Monty's antics were more important, despite the fact that they're side characters in the Power Rangers show you're making. I can't believe Nick would do something like this after Saban just extended their contract with the network, and I sincerely hope that this is just a mistake, otherwise we're in for another rough couple of years. Overall, this episode is okay, but because of how poor Nickelodeon treated it after airing, it really doesn't instill me with confidence for the rest of the season. Granted, I am coming from a biased perspective due to the issues I had with getting this review out, so I'm interested to see what you guys thought about this episode and whether or not I should give it another try. Of course, that would be easier if I had a full copy of the episode to rewatch. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you. Please subscribe for reviews of Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel. Also check out Dino Charge Reviews too, episode reviews. Also there's Ninja Go, and I've got a Patreon. Go! Please subscribe.